Hey everybody, Jay the Fish Guy here, and today we're going to do a follow-up review video on the Seachem Tidal HOB Filter, that guy right there. If you didn't catch my first review, or the initial review I had on this filter, be sure to check up top there, go watch that video first. Basically, I do an unboxing, talk about my first impressions, what I think about it, its pluses as far as what it claims to be, the benefits of this filter versus others, and on paper, it looked like a really good filter. So if you haven't checked out that video, go look at that first, and then come back and check this one out. So, what are my thoughts on this filter? I've been running this now a couple of months, I think. I didn't bother looking back at the dates when before I made this, but I think it's been a couple of months now. And initially, it looked good. I wanted to like it. There's a lot of things about it that looked good, again, on paper. But honestly, it really has fallen short of my expectations. And why is that? If you can see on the tank, I have my original filter back on there as well as the Seachem filter. The reason for this is a couple of things. Within the first week of having it on there, I ended up doing a pretty good size cleaning. I don't know if you can really see it, but this is a 37-gallon tank, got some live rock. It's kind of a holding tank for some saltwater fish for me if I'm getting stuff in for clients. A couple of tangs, lots of crabs, things like that. So I did a fairly deep cleaning, stirred up a lot of stuff in the sand when I was gravel vacuuming, and the tank was hazy, cloudy, from all those particulates. That normal, that happens, and a good filter can take that out typically within 24 hours. Better filters usually within 6. The tank looks the way it's, crisp and clear again within 6 hours. Well, 24 hours went by and the tank was still hazy. And it wasn't from any biological activity. It wasn't like a cloudiness to the water. It was actually literally particulates in the water. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. The filters, the media was new. Nothing was clogged. The little clog indicator wasn't popping up on the filter. So I really couldn't figure it out. So I ended up pulling it apart. I put some bonded blue filter fiber. Let's see if I got something kicking around here. So this, I also use it to scrub tanks. Makes a good tank scrubby. So this is just bonded blue filter fiber. The darker stuff is a little finer, the lighter side is a little coarser, and I use that in a lot of filter applications where I can just kind of cut to fit exactly the size I want. It comes in a big roll, I buy it in bulk. So anyway, usually when a tank has some particulate issues, I end up putting some of that in the filter, and within a day or two it crisps right up and everything's back to the way it should be. It does tend to clog pretty quick, so it's not something that I throw in and then run for a month or two at a time. Usually after a week or two I'll pull it back out, and if I still need more I'll put a fresh pad in. But anyway, so I put some of that in there. Another 24 hours goes by and it's still not clear. And that, to me, that's a fatal flaw. If you can't crisp up and take out the particulates of a tank that's under your rated size, what's the point? If I have to run a second filter to compensate for the first one, well, there's no point in that first one, is it? And I've never had any, this is just a classic Whisper, I think it's a 40, Whisper cartridge, the Tetra cartridges, nothing fancy, nothing special. I think it might have the biofoam in there too, but, that's very coarse. So, honestly, I can't in good conscience, just for that reason alone, recommend this filter to anybody. And I looked after the other 24, the second 24 hours, like, did it clog? Is it bypassing? And the filter pad wasn't that clogged, not to the point where it should bypass, but yet water was just coming up and around the basket. I took the foam out, the foam wasn't clogged up, so I just think there's something not quite right about these filters. There was a lot of comments on my initial review post, and comments even recently too, saying, hey, what do you think about the filter? It's been a little while, everybody's talking about bypass. Well, I can definitely confirm, at least for my one filter and one experiment, that it it's got to have a lot of bypass, and it has nothing to do with the filter being clogged. It's inherent in the design of the basket and the bypass chambers of when it's supposed to get clogged. It uses those, you know, whatever it is in the design, it's just not right. So again, I can't recommend this filter to anybody if you're looking at it as a sole filter, like that's the only filter on your tank. If you can't take out the particulates and, you know, polish up the water, you can't use it as an only filter. Now, in my application right now, where I'm using it as a second filter, and I still have, you know, the foam in the bottom. I got the biological media in there as well. So biologically, I'm sure it's doing plenty, and it's, you know, contributing to the filtration of the tank, but not as a sole filter. You know, that Tetra filter, the Whisper filter, you know, as soon as I put that back on, within 12 hours, I came back down the next day, it was crisp and clear and everything was fine again. So it's definitely something going on with that Seachem filter. So I'm pretty disappointed, to be honest. Like I said, I wanted to like it. There was a lot of good aspects of the filter. I thought it was going to kind of bridge the gap between an AquaClear and some other filters, like taking some ideas from everybody and making it, you know, kind of a combination of all of them, you know, the one filter to rule them all, so to speak. Bad joke. Anyway, it's not, and I wouldn't really recommend anybody picking it up, again, if it's their only filter that's going to be on the tank. And it's not like the tank was that dirty either. I mean, yes, I stirred up some stuff from water changes, but nothing that even an undersized filter couldn't have done within a 24-hour period as far as cleaning up the particulates and making it look good again. So unfortunately, this one gets a big negative. Not a good buy. Not for the money that they want for it, because again, this is a premium filter. They're asking quite a bit for these things. So that's about it. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I happened to be looking at the analytics the other day. Only, what was it? 85% of my views on my videos are not subscribers, and that kind of blew me away. With as many subscribers as I have, and you know, not all my videos get that many views, but for the percentages to be 85% isn't a subscriber, come on guys, hit the subscribe button. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.